welcome to this very special monthly live stage for Apex Rear Wing. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here to Finland. My name's Stairs, and I'm joined, as always, in the commentary box by Madbird.
That's me, I'm Madbird. We are here in Jämsä, Finland. The stage is Järvenkaila, going through the town of Kakaristo, and we have got a set of runners, mostly in Mini Coopers, it must be said. Alistair?
Yes, there's a couple of Lancia Fulvias as well, but as you mentioned before, the majority of today's competitors will be in the Mini Cooper. For all the other hot goss and behind-the-scenes information, we're going to cross to our rally expert, Robert. Robert, I'm going to throw over to Madbird so that you can have a chat with Robert.
Absolutely. So, as usual, we've got Robert here. Robert, how are you finding Finland this time of year?
Not bad. It's a cold place to live in, but it's not very cold today because it's summertime.
Thanks for the meteorology report. So, how are you feeling about the stage? Who do you think is going to do well today? All the usual questions that I ask you that you flap about with and don't really answer.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Is Mono in this race?
Mono is in.
He'll do well.
Yep, Mono is in the stage. So you picking Mono? Yep.
I'd say so. And Roadhog has shown flashes of brilliance in the past as well. If not for having having crashed a few times, he might have had the odd win himself.
Indeed. So Mono and Roadhog, and you can never discount Xeris, can you?
No, not at all. No. Basically, the default favourite every time we go somewhere, so certainly wouldn't put my knickers on someone else's hat.
Absolutely interesting turn of phrase you got there. Well, thank you, Robert. As always, it's been a delight speaking to you and hearing the same two things that you parrot every single time. Oh, what? Sorry?
Hey, go on. Oh, sorry, just walking through the paddock, or the rally equivalent of the paddock, and I saw Xeris. I said hello to him.
Fantastic. So.
What are you going to say, Xeris? Enjoy, lad.
Doesn't appear to be. All right, so Robert, we're going to cut you off there. It's been a delight speaking to you as usual. Hope that you enjoy the stage, as we surely will as well. Isn't that right, Stairs?
That's correct. And without further ado, we're going to go straight into the first runners. Today we've got Goofball Antics in his Mini, starting us off. And a bit of controversy last round with Goofball, and we're going to ask him a few questions about that controversy.
Yes, indeed. Robert had the good luck to catch up with him over the break, so here's that interview with Robert.
And here we are with Goofball. How's it going, Goof?
I'm good, thanks, Robert. How are you? How's it hanging?
Oh, something tragic.
Damn, I'm sorry about that.
All good. So yeah, anyway, tell us your thoughts about the situation with bags in Wales.
Right, my thoughts. Where does one begin? I guess in this case, the end is the best place to begin.
That's a good place to start.
I finished my stage, as I do, and so I'm just hanging out, having a few tinnies, at the finish area.
You're allowed to do that?
And I hear this car coming. I thought it doesn't sound right. What's this car? This doesn't sound like the era that we're currently racing.
Yeah.
And so I've moseyed on over to the finish line there, and I see this car coming. I'm going, what the bloody hell is this? And, some clown has found his way onto the track, and thinks he's a rally driver.
I can understand.
He's jumped in.
Yeah.
So he's come screaming through. He's crossed that finish line. He's driven over to the area there.
Yeah, the area.
And I've gone, I've got to go see what's going on here. So I've walked on over there, and lo and behold,
to the area, you mean?
Old mate Bagsy gets out of the car.
Bagsy.
And I thought, hang about, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Why is Bagsy, one of the competitors, why has he got out of this car?
In the wrong car,
This banned, not supposed to be driving car.
Yeah, shit.
And so I was furious.
I bet.
I was furious.
I would have been.
So I thought, right, I'll go have a few more tinnies.
I sympathise.
And so I went back to the the motorhome tent thingy house. What's it? And cracked a few tinnies, put on some Paul Kelly, and I just chilled.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought I'll go and I'll speak to the stewards.
Better. Yeah.
And
the one with the wife.
So I had a tinny. I've gone over the stewards. And I walked in. I said, hang about. all right, what's going on with old mate Bagsy? You know, he's in a car that we're not supposed to be using. You know, it's clearly he's been disqualified. And they tell me no, he's been given a 20-second time penalty.
That's not much, is it?
20 seconds, Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah? 20 seconds.
I understand.
What the hell is that? For using a banned car.
No amount of Paul Kelly's gonna. Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know. More Paul Kelly, I
What do you
assume.
do?
For sure, you must feel that Bagsy gained an advantage in Stratos.
Look, bloody oath did he gain an advantage. I mean, look at the facts. I went back and I watched the footage, and it's 1 minute and 49 seconds into that stage that you lose visual on his Renault.
You've done your research.
And excuse me, Robin, I'm standing on some cords here.
Oh yeah.
And so minute 49 in this stage that you lose visual.
Visually.
And then all of a sudden it cuts to the Stratos that Bagsy is now in. 55 seconds prior, 55 seconds
This is a long
backwards
story.
down the road to where you lost. Excuse me.
Oh, you're right.
Where we've lost the visual of the Renault.
Okay.
So that's that's Bagsy telling us he's gave himself a 1 minute, or in this case, as it actually turns out, 55 second self-imposed penalty for using the wrong car. But there's a problem with this, Robert. There's a problem with this.
Do
The
tell.
problem is that car has to have left the start line 49 seconds, or if you take another 5 seconds from that, maybe 54 seconds, or maybe it's 44 seconds, I'm not sure.
You're a maths whiz.
I drive cars, I don't do math.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're not a maths whiz.
But my point being, that car left the start line before he knew he needed it.
Right.
That's premeditated cheating, Rob.
Ah.
That's premeditated cheating, and I won't stand for it. In fact, I can't sit down.
What a thing to say.
What's going on? What are we running here? You know,
Did you hear that?
To be a professional,
Listeners?
professional rally.
You hear what he's saying
You
here?
got clowns running around using whatever cars they are.
That's a
So
provocative thing to say.
You watch the footage and you hear like Madbird, or whatever the bloody hell his name is.
It's
he
Madbird.
mentions it. He mentions that the car has been following him around, ready for a hot jump. He's like, what the fuck is hot jump? Excuse my language. But,
You're
if
excused.
that Renault has
Say that all the
stopped
time myself.
and this Stratos is coming through, you're
Yeah.
not going to jump from a stationary Renault into a fast-moving Stratos.
You're not
It's
concise, are you?
James Bond sort of stuff. You're going to lose your head. Your noggin's going to come off as the car goes by. You're not going to jump through the window.
I missed
Then
that.
how does the driver of that car get out?
Your noggin.
I'll tell you how. It doesn't. It doesn't, Robert. And you know why? You know how I know?
What's going on here?
Bagsy was in that bloody Stratos when it crossed the finish line. So Bagsy can't have hot jumped from the Renault to Stratos because he still had his noggin on when he finished the race. See what I'm saying? I'm saying
Not
Bagsy
really.
was in that Stratos to begin with.
Oh.
Who the bloody hell was in that Renault? I don't know.
So you're calling
I
foul
don't
play.
particularly care. But that Bagsy had this set up from the beginning. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, that's very clear. That is very clear. I believe that's all we've got with Goofball Antics. That is a sensational accusation, as we're seeing issues there with Bagsy. I'm going to throw it back to our resident commentators, Madbird and Stairs. Madbird and Stairs, back to you in the commentary box.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. So some very heated words there from Goofball. Some very heated, very, very long words regarding his accusations that Bagsy perhaps had the whole thing in mind from the beginning, Stairs.
Well, what it's boiled down to really is that is an accusation of cheating, colluding perhaps with some other driver.
Sure, Bagsy, surely, I mean, I don't know what you took away from this, Stairs, but I took away from it that Bagsy just made an honest mistake. He just had a car following him. And, I don't think Bagsy's the sort to cheat, do you?
Well, I think really the only fair thing we can do is give Bagsy next week his right of reply, as we're looking at Bagsy in... That's not a 60s car, is it?
That appears to be a 2010s Mini Countryman, so...
Has he done the same thing again?
It appears that...
He's jumped into the wrong... He's crashed his 1960s car, 1960s being the era that we are racing today, and has jumped into a car that's now not a car.
It is now missing most parts of itself. Now, I'm hearing from the start... Oh, we've got Stairs starting his stage. I'm hearing from the start line that Bagsy actually began the stage in this Mini Countryman. So I don't know if what's going on, Stairs.
I would be suggesting that we need a steward's inquiry here, because this is a serious violation of the rules that we, despite the fact that he's not driving it very well, he is driving a car with a significant performance advantage over everyone else.
Yeah, it must be. And I'm aware that Heathy's Goofball stage, wasn't the fastest, but Bagsy has still gone over a minute faster in the third sector there. So
despite what would be, I mean, he's
missing a rear tyre.
Several panels are missing. There's a door on the left-hand side of the car which is no longer there, and the car is wiggling around there like a needle on a vinyl, and it's really he's really struggling to control it, stop it. Whatever it is he needs it to do, it isn't doing it.
Indeed. So I don't think that. I feel like the stewards are possibly gonna
look.
They're not gonna be happy about this.
No.
I don't believe. Stairs, unsurprisingly, does not go faster than Bagsy in a much slower car.
Well, we're waiting. Yeah, he's a good 10 seconds down already as we wait for him to slot in there. 9.4 seconds it was that Bagsy crossing line. 4 minutes 26.
Bagsy has. Oh, it looks like
DSQ.
Bagsy has. The stewards have had enough.
The stewards have said no. Car number, whichever number it is, has been withdrawn from competition for using the wrong car. Well, I'm very keen to have a chat to him in the next live stage.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sure Robert will be the one doing that, since his journalistic integrity knows no bounds, and he will get to the bottom of this. Mark my words. But here we go. Stairs is all over the place there, flying through the Finnish countryside in his Lancia.
Indeed, that green Lancia looks very Italian, which is fitting, considering that Lancia, I believe, are an Italian car.
They most definitely are.
Absolutely. So,
but this is good. It gives us a chance to focus now back on the racing, which is really what we're on about here. As Stairs goes onto the grass there, but probably cost him a little bit of time. He's still 48 seconds ahead of Goofball's time. And of course Bagsy's time's now irrelevant as he's been excluded from the results, but obviously all this controversy taking us away from what we really want to see, and that's cars driving fast on the road.
Exactly, yes. It adds a bit of drama, a bit of soap opera to the whole proceedings, but it must be said that it is not what the sport is there for. And frankly, I won't stand for it, Stairs.
No, it is a very sad day in ARW when we start to have drivers who are very much, it's a friendly league. It's, the drivers who do get along, but every now and then these things rear their ugly heads and make themselves apparent, and it's a very sad day, if I've not already said it. But as we look at the start line, Nether's just taken off about 8 or 9 seconds ago, and he's in the Mini, and he'll be certainly looking to stamp his authority over this stage.
Exactly, we've got Stairs there going a minute and some change faster than Goofball, so only about 10 seconds slower. He's
struggling with that left hand, right angle corner. Stairs in his Lancia didn't quite get the turn and just almost came to a stop and basically had to get going again. And that does cost you time in these cars, as they don't have an awful lot of power, being something in the area of 50 years old, so that can be a problem.
It can be. It's all about maintaining speed, maintaining pace, keeping momentum. Exactly. Thank you.
Sorry, to cut across.
No, absolutely. I was floundering for the right word. And
well, here's another area where momentum is
smack
important.
Me in the face like a
dictionary. He's gone wide. Smack me in the face with a synonym because I can't think of another word for wide, but that was not narrow.
That was not narrow indeed, as he's. Yeah, that's the famous Kakaristo hairpin.
There goes our on camera. Let's hope someone replaces that by the time that Nether gets around.
Nether goes 2/10 faster than Stairs in the first sector, so quite close between those two drivers at the moment.
Stairs will be shitting his pants. Sorry, he'll be very
unnerved.
Pleasant, not very pleasant. And 4:34. So the current time to beat. Set by the German in the Lancia, but look at this Mini. It really is speeding through the Finnish countryside with an enormous amount of flair and excitement.
Exactly. It might be coming up to 60 years old, but you got to say it is a
Left 5
it is a
over
car
crest jump,
stairs.
keep in 60.
Yes, it's certainly
Right 6,
when it
into
first
care,
came
left
out,
6 over long crest and
put
dip.
a lot of
Left
people
6 over crest jump maybe,
in mind.
and
It put
caution
people
crest
back in
bump
the
and
driver's
turn
seat.
right
It's
4.
a small car. You're
Crest
low to
80,
the ground.
small crest,
The
and
wheels
left
are not
5
much
long
bigger
bump
than,
into crest
my
jump
young
maybe, and
baby's,
right 5 long, tighten
hands.
3 over crest.
And but that
80,
means that you're connected.
over bump
to the
and
car.
small crest
You're-
jump
You're
maybe.
attached to the ground. The ground is a lot closer to you. The sensation of speed is that much greater as a result.
Indeed. Now they're going 3/10 slower than stairs in the second sector.
Ah.
So trading places are the Lancia and the Mini. So no
And left
clear,
5 over crest jump maybe, 130.
No clear advantage to any one of them.
That's
but,
the one.
Right,
having said that, Stairs did have a couple of issues in those slower corners that we wait to see whether whether Nether has anything similar. But you'd have to say that if Nether has a clean run towards the end, he might just be able to keep Stairs in this mini.
Might be able to do the as we've got Bang there starting in his red Mini. So we've got blue and red Minis on the stage simultaneously. I was going to say there's some missing paintwork on the side of Nether's car there. Hasn't been looked after too well by the looks of it. It's certainly not insured by Shannon's.
200
Not
through
ideal,
dip.
not ideal.
Caution braking, middle over 2
Lovely.
crests, and
Overhead
turn square
shot
left,
looking
don't
down
cut.
from the camera as Nether has indeed picked up
Into
some
middle
time
over-
on Stairs there, and we wait to see how he manages to get this corner. Looks like he's gone a little bit into that ditch on the outside, on the right-hand side of the road, but nowhere near as slowly as Stairs took it, so Nether looking good to jump him up into the first.
Junction times 3, 100 past junction. Care left
Ambulance
6
there
over crest
already,
jump.
just in case someone has a collision or an accident in one of these cars. Probably not going fast enough to cause a whole lot of concern,
Right
although they
4
don't
half
have
long, keep
airbags.
very in. Care
They
80
don't have
past
a lot of
junction,
the safety
hairpin left.
features that are present in modern day cars. As we come up to this hairpin, crucial part here, as you said, the Kagura-script no hairpin. It's like he's actually turning a little bit early, but he's sort of, it's probably a lot faster. He's not gone anywhere near as deep. Well, he hasn't gone deep at all. But Stairs was much slower out of there. So we're looking at the split time to compare Bang with Nether, and Bang has found a second on Nether. So everyone just getting ready to go on the Stairs time.
Finish.
Which isn't. It feels like we're ragging on the full gear a little bit as Nether crosses the line. 3/10 ahead of Stairs, so must have lost some. So must have lost some time there in the hairpin and that last sector. Stairs missing out by just 3/10, so close there for the young German.
How frustrating for him.
How frustrating! He's been battling with Nether for the last few stages, and
Has
just
he?
yeah, he's always just that little bit. He's always a little bit, just a little bit.
5 over
As
crest
we've got
jump,
Bang here in the red
60.
Mini with the white roof,
Right
looks
6,
like
into
a
left
red and
6
white
over
thing.
long crest and dip.
Like a
Left 6 over
newspaper.
crest jump
But
maybe.
yes, indeed.
And caution
Black and
crest
white
bump
and
turn
red
right
all
4.
over.
Crest 80.
Just like your local rag. But
Into
2
crest
minutes
jump maybe,
and
and
14
right
seconds
long,
into this
tight
stage,
3 over
and
crest.
he's 3 seconds up on Stairs. So
80.
that's
Over bump and
the
small
best
crest
time
jump maybe.
in Sector 2 that we've seen so far.
3
As,
over crest, 80.
that Mini is absolutely squirreling its way around. Probably nice little leap finding its way in front of camera just as that shot ended. Reminds me of
Left
American
5
Beauty.
over crest jump maybe. 130.
Except instead of plastic
Let's not
bags.
talk about. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. No, you please.
Oh, let's not talk about the main actor in that movie. But yeah, go on.
No,
I thought you were going down
absolutely. No,
plastic bags.
Let's not speak about rape allegations and.
No, I didn't.
And look, see, that one's not got a very good paint job either. On the rim there,
It's mud.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense.
So we've got Madbird on the beginning of his stage, and off he goes like a rat out of a drain pipe, and he'll be looking to assert his dominance
200 through dip.
on this stage as well. But we
Braking
rejoin
middle
Bang
over
as
2
he nears
crest
the
and
end
turn square
of
left,
Sector
don't cut.
3, and he's ahead by another 2.3 seconds,
Two
so he's
middle
looking good. He's in good shape himself. Oh my goodness! As
oh
I've said
my
that, he's
God.
gone straight on. He's
Middle
forgotten
over crest jump
that there's a
maybe,
left-hand.
40.
There's a left-hand corner there, and he's gone straight on,
Left 4
out of
long
camera
cut.
shot. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. Probably the 2.3 seconds he was up, so this could be touch and go to the end of the stage.
100
It
past
could
junction.
indeed. It could indeed. It went straight off. Probably lost a good couple of seconds there, off in the grass. but he has been better at maintaining his speed the rest of the stage so far, so it remains to be seen whether he'll manage to hold on to that, maybe just claw his way back in front of Nether before he gets to the end. Coming up here to the Kakaristo hairpin.
Crucial spot.
Crucial, and he has gone wide.
Not
but
as wide as Stairs, though. He, as Madbird is approaching Sector 1, we wait to see what he does to Bang's time. Because Bang was fastest early on, so whether or not he's... Oh, and 4.4 seconds, Madbird has crushed Bang's first sector time. That is an ominous sign to everyone else. They'll be very afraid.
That is indeed. That is a BFG worth of stompage on top of Bang's time there. Madbird probably a little bit frustrated. He's been there or thereabouts the last few stages.
Meanwhile, Bang has actually gone top. He's gone ahead of Nether and Stairs. I don't know. The others will be tearing their hair out, thinking, "What the hell do I have to do to get a half decent result?" But nonetheless, Bang has destroyed the opposition, but Madbird is hunting him down, and Bang will be about as worried as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But nonetheless, we are approaching the end of Sector 2, and well into the grass goes Madbird. We wait to see, will he still be... He's actually gained another 3 seconds there, so he is destroying the opposition as we speak.
He is indeed. Pedal to the metal in that mini, by the looks of it. Not much brake happening. Just stomping on that accelerator, swinging the car into the corners, and just hoping that it sticks. Which is really the way these cars should be driven. Like, if we're honest, everyone else is a pussy.
Yes, well, maybe if everyone else does that, they'll crash because they're not bloody well good enough and find this game extremely frustrating. But not talking about personal experience at all, but just got nothing else to talk about because we're looking at clearly quite a flawless stage so far. Don't know how he does it. But anyway, the same could be said for many other competitors. But
I was about to say... And you consider that Xerus and Mono and these ones are often...
still got the heavy hitters to come.
Yeah, are often far and away better than Madbird, so it's incredible the amount of skill that some people have at rally driving, as Madbird has pulled out another few seconds over Bang there, and that was before Bang's excursion off into the grass, so even more time will have been gained by now.
Huge excursion off, but still managed to be 4 seconds up on everyone else, so I really can't... I'm still at a loss to explain how that happened, but I guess it's the drivers who are more suited to these loose conditions, gravel roads, and never mind, Madbird's gone straight into the fence there at the hairpin, and he just didn't get it turned in. Went straight out of the fence. Thankfully, the fence didn't buckle because there's people standing behind it, and they're still standing there. I would have, frankly, run for the covers. It's a strange-looking power pole, but well, he had an advantage somewhere in the order of 11 seconds over Bang, so one would have thought he'd still be up on that, and we wait to see as he approaches the finish line, and indeed he is. In fact, he still gained another 4 or 5 seconds there, so that is frankly unbelievable.
That is absolutely. But speaking of unbelievable, we've got Mono coming through first sector, 1.3 seconds up on Madbird, so it goes from... I don't understand how some of these people do it. I just absolutely don't. It must be said. These people like Mono and Xerus, and they're not even people that play or that drive rally cars very often, but they just seem to have a feel for it.
They're plug and play drivers. You just take them out of their natural habitat, whether it's I didn't actually have any examples to give you there, but you take them straight out of their natural habitat, plug them straight into a rally car, and they go fast. And that's what happens.
It's like if you took someone out of a marketing meeting, or you pulled someone out of like a crawl space where they're plugging in Ethernet cables, and you shoved them in a rally car, and they just vroom, you know, like it's just, I'm in awe of it. Stairs.
Having said that, Mono's just 0.9 seconds ahead of Madbird there, so there's not a lot to choose between them. Of course, if we did see that big mistake Madbird had towards the end of his stage, so Mono will hopefully be trying to avoid that for his sake.
Indeed, it's into that hairpin. It's a tricky braking point at the best of times, but even more so when you're in these cars, which have got the brakes of basically some slightly warm butter that you're slowly pushing into with your foot that just doesn't have much grip give to it at all, or it has far too much give to it. It must be said.
But unlike slightly warm butter that has the lovely property of making cake tins and various other types of tins less sticky, so that you can remove the contents without too much hassle and cleaning up isn't much of an issue at all. This kind of warm butter, in the context of rally brakes, has no redeeming features or qualities at all. While I was saying that, Roadhog got underway, the young Nepalese man, and he certainly is one of the favourites today.
Absolutely, as we've got Mono coming up to that hairpin. He's a few seconds away now. Yep, he's going through
He
this
sure is.
excellent aerial shot we've got here as he's coming up to the hairpin. Here he comes.
Scandinavian
Oh.
flick. Has he done it nicely? He's done exactly almost. Oh, he nearly did exactly what Madbird did, but just got it turned at the very last minute. The audience still standing there,
Impassively.
absolutely impassively. That is just Finnish sisu in the crowd we're seeing right there. They have a kind of bravery that is unmatched around the world.
They do indeed. As it's a picket fence they're standing behind there, so if it got knocked over, it would probably impale and kill a few of them.
But if it didn't, then they'd pick it up. But Mono's just gone fast. Oh, no, he hasn't. Yes, he has. But as we were looking at that, we saw Hogg slotted into third, but he's only 2.1 seconds behind what Mono managed in the first sector. But Mono topping the charts as we look at it right now. Roadhog, the only other driver in the Lancia, so he's going to give us a proper idea of what that car can do.
Yeah, very subdued colour on that Lancia, just a sort of tealy, aqua, turquoisey colour. Name three of the same thing. That was an excellent tautology from myself, if I do say so. Roadhog, usually a pretty strong competitor. He's been pretty close to clinching the win a couple of times, and just has had one or two mistakes that have just cost him the stage. So we get to see he's already down to third and he's 2.8 seconds down on Mono in the second stage. So perhaps the Fulvia is under power stairs.
Well, we don't know. We will. We wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see when we get to parts of the stage that are much less conducive, or should I say, advantageous to high-powered cars, such as the right-hand, the left-hand right-angle bend and the Kekaristo hairpin, where it's all about taking momentum through the corners.
And our only runner to go after this one is Xerus. He'll be starting any second now. I believe he is in a mini as well, as are most of our runners today. So Xerus, as usual, looking strong in the pre-stage
There he goes.
tests. Here he goes.
Number 12,
The
and
Ethiopian.
Hogg not fast enough in Sector 3, slotted into third place, dropped down again, 3.7 seconds. Seems to be well clear of Bang though, and he's rounded that left-handed nicely.
He has, which some of our competitors have had a bit of a struggle with, so Roadhog doing well at this stage to hold on to that fourth position, but it's going to take a mighty effort to get his way onto the podium from here.
Yes, that is right, but we did see that Madbird and Bang did have accidents at this part. Bang in the left-hander, the right-angled left-hander, and Madbird here. So if Roadhog can just get this nice and cleanly through, and just have the stage of have the sector of his life, he may well just leapfrog a position or two.
He might indeed. That's probably the cleanest we've seen that hairpin taken. He flicked the tail out just a little bit, carried some momentum through it, and look at him go. He's on a mission, is the Nepalese man, as we've got Xerus coming up to the first sector.
Yes, but he is, well, let's just see where he slots in, because we're also looking towards Roadhog. He slots in just 0.6 of a second behind Mono, as we focus our attention on Roadhog, and he's third, 4.5 seconds, so he has indeed jumped Bang. Bang lost an enormous amount of time in that last sector, as it would appear, so final spot on the podium for Hogg, but obviously all provisional because this man, Xerus, is on track and he has been dominant in these live stages.
He has indeed. I believe he is actually, that is the first time I think he has been behind in a sector split, 6/10 behind Mono. So this just goes to show how fast Mono's pace was in the first sector. Not the norm.
But look at him go. This is very fast stuff. What we're seeing right here. He's just going through without any. Well, this was the part where we've seen a lot of people go wide. He's turned it in early and has room to spare on the left-hand side of the road there. Many of our runners today have gone onto the grass through that stage.
They have, it's all for naught. Mono back down to 1.8 seconds behind Xerus at this stage. So Xerus has picked it up in the second sector. You'd put the Q in the rack at this stage, wouldn't you, Stairs?
No, I think he's just winding up. He's like that number counting machine from Sesame Street. He's just getting faster and faster and faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 minutes 36. That's what he's at right now, and we wait for him to approach the next sector split because it'll give us something more to talk about because we're really just speculating right now.
Absolutely, it's not the most exciting
stage.
Exciting stage.
Selection of cars.
Or the most exciting selection of cars.
Different results.
Yeah.
3:05.5 the time to beat sector 3. So we're approaching that now, and he's just demolished that in 4.6 seconds. Maybe now he'll put the Q in the rack.
Now you put the Q in the rack, I would expect.
Yeah, just want to nicely, cleanly get through here, and he's gone into the ditch a bit there. Probably the first mistake we've seen from Xerus in this particular part of the stage, or in this stage, for example. Not that it will phase him one bit, because he still has quite an advantage over his competitors.
No, he's unflappable. Is Xerus?
He cannot be flapped.
He cannot be flapped. He's
like an emu.
He's the opposite of a. I mean, even emus flap; they just don't fly.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
You give up when you figured out wasn't doing anything.
He's like a dog or a cat or some animal that doesn't have wings. He is entirely unflappable.
I was going to say penguin, but they also have wings.
Yeah, and they go like this.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't see it at home, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm flapping my arms like a pingu.
Beaver? Beavers don't have wings.
Beavers don't have wings, but they sort of flap their tail. That's sort of close.
Oh, I'd say they flop their tail.
Alright, we're approaching the end of the stage anyways. Xerus
Here he
goes through...
Oh, in slow motion.
4.6 seconds faster than Mono, clinching that first spot.
Exactly identical to...
As you would expect.
In the last stint to Mono Man. That was the gap after three sectors, and after 4 sectors, the gap was still 4.6. Just a little apropos of nothing. Amounts to nothing because Xerus still is your ARW live stage champion, yet to be dethroned. So we wait for the next round for hopefully that to happen. But Mono will be happy with second. Nonetheless, 4.6 seconds adrift of Xerus. Madbird will be very happy with third, I should think.
He would be. His first podium. Roadhog just missing out. First time not on the podium in one of our live stages. 9.1 seconds down on Xerus. Just a little bit sloppy from the Nepalese. Bang, 22 seconds. So there's a very clear split here between the top 4 and the bottom 4 runners. 22 seconds down to Bang.
I'd say there's 3 clear splits, to be honest. There's top 3, the next 3, and then the last 2. We did see that Bagsy was setting the world on fire with his Mini until he set the Mini on fire.
Absolutely, and it's all culminated here with Bagsy getting disqualified there in the new Mini. So
and Goofball will be happy with that.
He will be.
Moved up a spot.
He's moved up a spot from his usual position of 9th. He's now in 8th. Huge improvements. That's millions of dollars in no sponsorship.
Well, hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of dollars. But anyways, next time out, we're in Germany.
We are. We're
a couple of stages.
Moving on to Group A cars, and we're going to have a couple of rounds of those. So it'll be interesting to see whether that shuffles up the order at all. I certainly hope so.
Absolutely.
But until then, my name's Stairs.
And my name's Madbird.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.